Hey there, James Taylor here, keynote speaker on creativity, innovation, and future trends. Today I'm in Dubai and I'm speaking here at an event called Tribe, which is a gathering of the top chief marketing officers from all across the region. It's been organized by Kalish Times, and I'm going to be going on stage being the opening keynote in about an hour's time. So follow me along, give you a bit of a sense of what this event is all about. Just come off stage speaking at Kalish Times Tribe event, fantastic event where they brought together about 250 of the top chief marketing officers from here in the region, in the Middle East region. It was just great. It was a wonderful gathering. I think people were really excited to be together with their peers in the industry as marketers. And I was speaking specifically about ChatGPT and its effect on marketers and the work that marketers do. But really what I was speaking more broadly about was this idea of super creativity and how we can augment our creative abilities, in this case for the marketers, with some of these generative AI technologies. Now, you must have been living under a rock if you haven't been hearing about how some of these things are just transforming lots of different tasks. We're still relatively early in, although AI has been around since 1956. This kind of generative AI thing that we're talking about is still relatively new, and tools like ChatGPT are very new. But what is so exciting about them is we're moving from a time where things like AI were something that was discussed by academics, by scientists, by programmers, to something that anyone can get their hands on. And this is why we're seeing this Cambrian explosion of ideas and creativity. People are using it for all different areas, not just for business things, but for personal kind of projects as well. Now, there's some downsides here, as we all know. There was a recent report by Goldman Sachs saying that around 300 million jobs will either disappear or be radically transformed because of generative AI technologies. It will add to GDP of countries as well. Now, this is going to be very different from previous eras of automation. 50 years ago, when you had that first wave of kind of automation that kind of came through, affected lots of blue-collar jobs. But this new rise of AI and automation is really going to affect more white-collar workers. So that is the work of copywriters, of marketers, of designers, and that's going to change things a little bit. But here's my take on it. I think we need to see these, I have talked about them before, as not just as tools, but as potential collaborators. But with a little bit of a warning, because I kind of look at these things like just really smart graduates that have just come out of university. They're really smart, they have lots of knowledge, but they lack a little bit of street smarts. And this is kind of where the kind of entrepreneurial bit comes in. See, previous generations in dealing with these kind of technologies, as I mentioned, it was only scientists, as mathematicians, people were using some of these tools, but now it's available to anyone. So in the same way that we saw with electricity, for example, when electricity was kind of really first kind of thought about and being able to flick that switch, very quickly, lots of entrepreneurs suddenly thought, okay, how can I make whatever I do better by augmenting it with electricity in that case? And suddenly you saw all these new businesses, all these new jobs that came about from that. So I think when it comes to marketing, this is what we're going to start to see. Now, there will be lots of jobs that will just disappear. In fact, many of that work was kind of churn work anyway. It wasn't particularly kind of creative. But the work that's going to stay is that work which is about augmentation of that human's curiosity, their creativity, their ability to see the world in a slightly different way. That will require you learning about these tools, getting comfortable, and realizing also that there's not just one tool that we're talking about. Everyone talks about ChatGPT, but there's actually lots of suites of different tools. So it's understanding which tool you will use for different tasks, and that's where experience comes in. So in the same way I mentioned like some of these technologies, like that really smart university graduate that just come out of school but lacking street smarts, that's where we come in. If you're a bit experienced in your industry, especially if you're an experienced marketer, you've seen a lot of things, you've got good pattern recognition, you can have a sense of being close to your audience, your customer base, and so you have a bit more of those kind of street smarts about things, and you can apply it, and you can say, actually, I'm going to use this generative AI tool for this task, but I'm going to use maybe a slightly different one here as well. But it's exciting time. What an amazing time to be a marketer with all these tools coming out. It's kind of a little bit overwhelming at first, but if you're not kind of playing with these, please get in, start playing with them, start trying things. The first few times it's not going to be particularly pretty, but it's going to be fun. You're going to spark your curiosity, and this is where we're going. This is the future. This idea of super creativity, of the augmentation of our human creativity, our curiosity, is where we're going in the future. My name's James Taylor. Thanks so much for watching. And if you'd like me to come in and speak maybe to the marketers in your organization or to one of your annual conferences, for example, please head along to our website. Take care. Bye-bye.